Camden, present day. Morning sun hitting same streets Amy walked. Market stalls opening. Good mixer unlocking doors. Life continuing, time moving, but something remaining. Something constant, something eternal. Amy's voice, not physically, not literally, but spiritually, culturally, permanently. Voice that entered world through Camden Girl. Voice that grew into legend. Voice that transcended death. Voice that stayed. Ray opened Good Mixer. Same routine. 40 years behind same bar. Watched countless people. Countless changes. But Amy's corner booth remained sacred. Remained marked. Remained hers. Forever hers. Not because she sat there. Because she existed there. Because her presence became permanent. Because some things don't leave even when people do. Tourist entered. Asked inevitable question. Is this where Amy Winehouse drank? This is where Amy existed, Ray corrected. The Winehouse part came later. The Amy part was always here. Still is. 20 years since Back to Black recorded. 14 years since Amy died. Numbers measuring time. But time measuring nothing about Amy's relevance, about Amy's impact, about Amy's presence. Time couldn't diminish what was timeless, couldn't age what was eternal, couldn't fade what was truth. Mark Ronson sat in studio, same studio where Back to Black created, equipment updated, technology advanced, but essence remained, ghost of Amy in every corner, not haunting, accompanying, reminding, teaching. Voice recorded here lived everywhere now, lived in millions of speakers, billions of headphones, infinite streams, eternal presence. He played Back to Black sometimes, full album, start to finish. Remembering, not mourning, not regretting, remembering. Person who sat in this chair, who sang these notes, who created these truths, who lived briefly but impacted eternally, who died young but lived forever through preserved voice, through captured honesty, through recorded humanity. Still sounds fresh, young producer said, listening with Mark. Truth doesn't age, Mark replied. Amy sang truth. That's why it still sounds fresh, still sounds relevant, still sounds necessary. Truth is timeless. Amy understood that, lived that, died that, left us that. Amy Winehouse became more than person, became symbol, became standard, became touchstone, but never stopped being Amy. Girl from Camden who loved soul music, who struggled privately, who sang honestly, who touched people by being herself completely. That was magic. That was gift. That was legacy. Foundation continued work. Sarah, now 25, taught new students music therapy, emotional literacy, honesty through art, using Amy's philosophy, Amy's courage, Amy's example. Chain continuing, ripple expanding. One person helping others who would help others. Amy's influence multiplying infinitely. Student asked Sarah, "Did you know Amy Winehouse?" Never met her, but feel like I know her. Through her music, through her foundation, through her legacy. She touched my life without living in my time. That's power. That's immortality. That's Amy. Student picked up guitar. Amy Winehouse Foundation sticker on case. Started playing. Not Amy's song, own song, but influenced by Amy. Inspired by Amy. Possible because of Amy. Voice staying, voice teaching, voice enabling. Mitch visited Camden regularly. Walking streets, visiting places, feeling daughter's presence. Not seeking her, not expecting her, just feeling her. In familiar spaces, in continued impact, in lives being changed daily through foundation bearing her name. He'd sit in Good Mixer sometimes, same booth. Ray bringing drink without asking. Both men understanding. No words needed. Shared grief, shared memory, shared knowledge that Amy stayed even after leaving. Stayed in music, stayed in influence, stayed in hearts, stayed in worlds she helped reshape, simply by being honest, simply by being herself, simply by refusing to pretend pain wasn't painful, struggle wasn't real, vulnerability wasn't strength. She'd be proud, Ray said once. Of what? All of it. Foundation, influence, legacy. How she's remembered, not as tragedy, as triumph. not as cautionary tale, as inspiration. She'd be proud. "I hope so," Mitch said quietly. "I hope wherever she is, she knows. Knows she mattered. Knows she matters. Knows she'll always matter." Janice listened to Back to Black privately. Home, alone, just mother and daughter's voice, connecting across impossible gap of death, across years of absence, across everything except love. Love stayed. Love persisted. Love transcended. That's what Janice heard in Amy's voice. Love. For music. For honesty. For connecting with people through shared vulnerability. Shared truth. Shared humanity. She'd cry sometimes. Listening. Not sad crying. Complicated crying. Missing daughter. Proud of daughter. Grateful for daughter. All simultaneously. All real. All valid. Amy gave world gift. Cost Amy everything. Cost Janice daughter. But gift remained. Gift multiplied. Gift saved lives. That had to mean something. That had to matter. That had to be enough when nothing else could be. The voice stayed because it spoke truth, and truth never expires, never becomes outdated, never loses relevance. Amy's struggles, addiction, heartbreak, self-doubt, pressure remained universal, remained timeless, remained human conditions that every generation faced. Amy's honesty about these struggles remained helpful, remained validating, remained necessary. Young artists continued citing her, not just soul singers. Everyone, pop stars, rappers, rock musicians, country singers, jazz performers, electronic producers, genre meaningless. Amy transcended categorization, was simply honest, simply vulnerable, simply human. That transcended everything, that reached everyone, that stayed forever. Interview with new artist. 20 years old, never knew Amy lived, still called her biggest influence. How can someone you never met influence you so deeply? Because she's not really gone. Her voice is here. Her music is here. Her honesty is here. I listen, I learn, I'm influenced. Death ended her life, didn't end her impact, didn't end her teaching, didn't end her presence. Voice stayed. That's what matters. Blake visited Camden less frequently now. Too many memories, too much pain. But sometimes needed to walk streets they walked together, visit places they visited together, remember person underneath legend, remember Amy, not Amy Winehouse, remember girl he loved, girl who struggled, girl who tried, girl who survived as long as she could, girl whose voice stayed even after girl left. He'd hear Back to Black playing somewhere, always somewhere. Camden, London, world, everywhere. Voice escaped, voice spread, voice became ubiquitous. Blake would smile, sad smile, proud smile, complicated smile. Amy's voice was gift to world, was torture to Blake, reminder of what was lost, reminder of what remained, both true, both painful, both beautiful. Life after Amy complicated, voice staying helped, voice staying hurt, both simultaneously, both forever. The bronze statue stood at Camden Market. Tourists photographed it, locals touched it, everyone connected to it differently, all valid, all real, all part of Amy's legacy. Not the important part, not the real part, but part. Physical representation of presence, of permanence, of staying. Sarah visited statue regularly, talked to Bronze Amy. You should see foundation now. Hundreds helped, thousands, all because you existed, all because you were honest, all because voice stayed. Thank you. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for being you. Thank you for staying. Bronze Amy stayed silent, as statues do. But Sarah felt heard, felt connected, felt Amy's presence. Not supernatural, not mystical, simply real, simply continuing, simply staying, voice staying, influence staying, legacy staying, Amy staying. Voice staying meant Amy never really left. Physically gone, spiritually present, culturally relevant, permanently influential. That's immortality. Not living forever, staying forever, mattering forever, being needed forever. Amy achieved this not through trying, through being, through honesty, through courage to be herself completely, through voice that carried truth, through truth that carried voice. Through everything becoming eternal simply by being genuine. Music student wrote thesis. Amy Winehouse and authenticity in popular music, analyzing impact, documenting influence, proving legacy. Conclusion: Amy Winehouse changed popular music forever, not through innovation, through honesty, showed authenticity could be commercially successful, showed vulnerability could be strength, showed being human was enough, was more than enough, was everything. Post-Amy music industry different, better, more honest, more human, more real. That's legacy, that's permanence, that's voice staying. Professor gave A+. This captures it perfectly. Amy's impact wasn't musical technique, was human courage, courage to be vulnerable, courage to be honest, courage to be herself. That courage inspired generation, will inspire generations, will inspire forever. Voice stays because courage stays, because truth stays, because humanity stays. Streaming numbers told story. Back to black climbing charts. 14 years after Amy's death, 20 years after recording, still gaining listeners, still finding new fans, still mattering, still necessary. Numbers proving what hearts knew. Voice stayed, voice thrived, voice lived. Algorithm worked magic. Someone listened to similar artist. Algorithm suggested Amy. Someone discovered her. Life changed. Then they told friend. Friend listened. Life changed. Chain continuing, ripple expanding, voice reaching further, voice staying longer, voice becoming eternal through mathematics, through code, through digital permanence, through truth transcending format, transcending medium, transcending everything except human need for connection, for understanding, for honesty. 20 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, Amy's voice would still be playing, still teaching, still influencing, still staying. Not because industry manufactured legend, because Amy was genuine, because genuineness lasts, because truth never expires, because honesty never becomes irrelevant, because humanity never changes. Struggles remain, pain remains, need for understanding remains. Amy's voice addresses these. Amy's voice stays because these stay forever. Mark received email, young producer. Want to sample Back to Black, create something new, honor Amy's legacy, seeking permission. Mark called, talked with producer, verified respect, verified understanding, verified intention, honored Amy, granted permission. Keep her voice alive, keep her truth spreading, keep her staying. That's how legacy works. Voice recorded once, stays forever, gets reinterpreted, gets reimagined, gets kept alive through new generations discovering, creating, connecting. That's beautiful. That's how Amy stays. Sample released. New song. Amy's voice woven through. New context. Same truth, same honesty, same Amy. Young listeners discovering her. Who's that voice? It's incredible. Learning Amy's name, learning Amy's story, learning Amy's lesson. Honesty matters. Vulnerability is strength. Being yourself is enough. Lesson staying, voice teaching, Amy continuing. The Good Mixer closed for renovations. Temporarily, Ray supervised, making sure Amy's booth preserved. This stays, everything else can change. This stays, Amy's space, Amy's booth, Amy's presence. Forever, contractor asked. Why so important? Just furniture? Not furniture, history. This booth held Amy Winehouse hundreds of times, held her laughter, held her tears, held her existence. That doesn't leave just because time passes. That stays. Like voice stays, like influence stays, like Amy stays. Booth reflects that, booth embodies that, booth stays. Renovations completed. Booth remained. Same wood, same scars, same everything, only things staying unchanged, appropriately. Booth represented Amy, staying, permanently, forever. The voice that stayed wasn't just sound, was message, was philosophy. was way of being. Amy taught, be yourself, be honest, be vulnerable, be human. That teaching stayed. That philosophy spread. That way of being influenced millions, would influence millions more, would influence forever. Voice staying meant lesson staying, meant courage staying, meant Amy staying, not physically, essentially, eternally, permanently. Foundation reached milestone. 10,000 young people helped directly. Hundreds of thousands reached indirectly. Amy's name enabling this? Amy's story inspiring this? Amy's voice funding this? Death didn't end impact, amplified it, gave it urgency, gave it meaning, gave it permanence. Amy alive helped hundreds. Amy dead helped thousands, would help millions. Voice staying, impact multiplying, legacy immortal. Camden remembered, would always remember. Streets held her footsteps. Buildings held her presence. People held her memory. Not perfectly, not completely, but genuinely, really, permanently. Camden Girl became legend, but stayed Camden Girl, stayed local, stayed neighbor, stayed theirs. Sharing her with world didn't diminish Camden's claim, enhanced it. Made Camden proud, made Camden protective, made Camden keeper of truth, of real Amy, of staying Amy. Ray, Mrs. Chen, Sarah, Hassan, David, everyone who knew her became custodians of memory, of truth, of staying. They'd correct myths. Amy wasn't like that. Amy was this. They'd protect legacy. Amy wouldn't want that. Amy would want this. They'd keep her real, keep her human, keep her Amy, keep her staying honestly, genuinely, permanently. Years would pass, decades, centuries. Technology would change, formats would evolve. Streaming would become something else would become something else again. But through everything, Amy's voice would transfer, would preserve, would stay, because voice was recorded, because recordings became digital, because digital became permanent, because permanence meant eternal. Amy's voice would outlive everyone who knew her lived, would outlive everyone alive now, would exist as long as humanity existed, as long as music mattered, as long as truth was necessary. That's immortality, not supernatural, technical, voice recorded, voice preserved, voice staying, forever. The final word belonged to Amy, not literally, but spiritually. Her voice had final word, her truth had final word, her honesty had final word. Everything pointed back to her, to what she said, to what she sang, to what she taught simply by being herself completely, courageously, fatally, eternally. Back to black played somewhere, always somewhere. Camden, London, Tokyo, New York, Lagos, Mumbai, Sydney, everywhere, always, forever. Voice traveling, voice reaching, voice staying. Amy Winehouse singing truth to whoever needed hearing, to whoever needed understanding, to whoever needed knowing they weren't alone. That struggle is human, that honesty is brave, that being yourself is enough. Voice staying, forever, eternal, immortal, permanent, the voice that stayed. Amy's music is available everywhere music streams. Her foundation continues at amywinehouse.foundation.org. The voice stays. The voice always stays. This story used AI-generated voices to bring historical narratives to life.